So that's Rick Francis. In terms of you as a managing director, did you think about from the sub-postmaster's perspective of
yes,
how...
I did. Yeah, I had... it's only a slight digression, but certainly when I arrived, I felt the sub-postmaster community felt unloved to a degree by Post Office Limited. And one of my early objectives was to try and get close to the sub-postmaster community and try and resolve that. One of the first things I did was establish a strong relationship with the chap who was then the Federation's top guy and the top team. And I started...
Can you just say for clarity, can you give a name, please?
Colin Baker, his name was, yeah, sorry. And then I started a programme of visits, which in the end I did for the entire 3 years and 10 months that I was there, of going out. And I would, on a Friday, and I would pick a part of the country, and then I would say to the Fed, and I would say to the regional manager in the area, I've got time to visit 5 branches, give me a list of branches that I can go and visit. And I went, randomly visited them.
Thank you. And it refers to the case of Lee Castleton. And, well, I'll ask this first. Were you aware of Lee Castleton before reading this article?
No.
It states that he was declared bankrupt after he refused to pay the Post Office £27,000. Castleton insists he did not owe the money, although it showed as a loss on the Post Office's Horizon system, which is used by postmasters to do their accounting. He is one of several postmasters to come across losses they could not explain. If we could turn over the page, please. The second paragraph says, having lost the case, Castleton was left with costs of £321,000. In 2007, he filed for bankruptcy. I was in too deep. I see that now. The whole thing has been heartbreaking, he says. The trial of the Castleton trial, the Post Office v Castleton, was heard while you were managing director.
Apparently so, yeah.
You say you were unaware of it.
I was unaware.
£321,000 or money of that amount is a significant debt to be owed, isn't it? So in other words, the legal cost that Post Office spent in pursuing that claim was significant.
So just to be clear, when I say I was unaware about this particular case, but we have seen earlier the reports that were being issued, but they were summarised reports with totals on them. So I'm sure this case would have been in there, but it may not have been separately identifiable.
So you might not have known the name.
That's right.
Lee Castleton.
Yeah, that's right.
But you.
I can't remember, but there was reporting. So which we've seen already this morning.
And did you not think to ask why there was such a significant legal spend on one case?
I just don't recall. I can't.
Well, can you think why you wouldn't ask that?
I can't think why I wouldn't. And so either it was a mistake on my part, or it wasn't in the report. But I don't know.
So this is the 15th of October. You send an email to Mary Fagan. Do you remember who Mary Fagan was?
I definitely do. I definitely remember this email. Yep.
Who's Mary Fagan?
She was the PR officer for the Royal Mail Group.
It says in the second paragraph, for some strange reason, there is a steadily building nervousness about the accuracy of the Horizon system, and the press are now on it as well. Were you seeing this as a significant and escalating issue?
I was then, yes. Yeah. Which, hence my... Well, I then expressed in the next sentence my confusion as to why. But well, yes, I accepted that we had an issue.
And were you connecting the various Horizon challenges at that point? So the Porteous letter, Computer Weekly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This was around that time that it came to the fore for me, if you see what I mean.
You go on to say, my instincts tell that in a recession, subbies with their hand in the till choose to blame the technology when they are found to be short of cash. Why was your instinct to think that sub-postmasters who alleged that Horizon caused shortfalls were stealing from the post office?
Well, that's an expression I'll regret for the rest of my life. So, it was an inappropriate thing to put in an email, not in line with my view of sub-postmasters.
And perhaps an unguarded comment, you've put that the instincts were for it to effectively be that sub-postmasters were stealing and then blaming the technology. Does that represent your actual views at the time?
No, but it was said. It was.
Why did you say it if it wasn't your views?
Well, I had a friendly, informal relationship with Mary Fagan, and it was just an email I shouldn't have. It's just an email I shouldn't have written, but it was important to me that she understood exactly where we were at. But she was a Royal Mail person, and it was one of the areas where I was very, very happy with the support I got from Royal Mail. So she was very helpful to me. She was a sounding board, and I was probably more open and frank with what I was thinking with her than many other people. She was also in a different building, which meant that we swapped emails a lot. And so, as I say, that sentiment was expressed. What I wrote in that email was unacceptable.
Were you asking for a defence of Horizon rather than an investigation into its integrity?
Definitely not looking for a robust defence, just looking for answers. One of the perils of being the boss is that people use your name to get things done, and I would have responded to that if I'd been copied.
But
that's not what we're after.
Dave Posnick could have used your name and said, Alan Cook is asking for an independent review of Horizon, or Alan Cook is asking for a review into its integrity. What was put was, Alan Cook is asking for a more robust defence of Horizon. Are you saying those words didn't come from you?
I wouldn't have said that. I would have said, robust was a word I used, which I meant thorough and vigorous, but defence wouldn't have been a word I've used.
You use robust to mean thorough?
Yeah, but defence is a different point. At this stage, there was the Computer Weekly article and a few complaints on specific cases, and I was more than prepared to believe that the answer would be different to each of them, and that the answer wasn't that there's nothing wrong.